please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
At the beginning of this, as we stay with these numbers, let's welcome our first set of guest. Country's most eminent election experts will be with us right through this counting season. Starting first to my right, Swapan Das Gupta, BJP's Rajya Sabha MP, but also someone who's our resident in-house commentator, Ajoy Bose, another one of our fellow election travelers. He's been traveling across Gujarat as well, representing the Congress party. Tom Vadakkan. First word, just on the basis of these exit polls, Ajoy, I'm looking at a trend. The trend being, and exit polls can go horribly wrong, as we've seen in the past. So, with that necessary caution, the trend being that the BJP may well just manage to put this one in the bag. How do you look at these numbers? More or less around what we had seen the last time. 4 agencies. One, I must point out, India Today is suggesting that the BJP may be in between 99 to 110, hovering around the 100 figure. Is there a difference for the BJP if the BJP was to be at 100 and if the BJP was to be at 110?
Yes, I think so, because I think 100 would mean a significant drop, whereas 110 would mean a slight drop. But I mean, I think the BJP could definitely shrug that marginal drop off. But I think 100 would be certainly, quite a drop. I frankly feel that my gut level feeling is that either the BJP would comfortably win these elections, getting above 115 to 120, quite comfortable victory that, or there is a possibility that there is a freak result, there is an emotional vote, because BJP, because the BJP, the signals I pick up from the BJP, I've never seen it so worried about Gujarat for a long time. I mean, it's very surprising that maybe they're worrying about nothing. I mean,
they're worried at all. Swapan, I must point out, Swapan, I have now looked at the last 4 elections in Gujarat very closely. In 2007, the story of Gujarat was exactly this. Patels are unhappy. Narendra Modi is struggling. Suddenly, Maut Ka Saudagar happened. In 2012, in Saurashtra, it was suggested by pollsters, Patels are dumping BJP completely, and Keshubhai Patel had floated his own Gujarat Parivartan Party. He got 3% vote. Now, in 2017, Modi at the helm of affairs in the country. Is the story, as far as pollsters or analysts are concerned, is the story the same for Gujarat?
Well, Bhupendra, I'm glad you've mentioned 2007 and 2012. We could even talk about 2002. But the script has always been the same whenever, just before an election, and there is that question of intense nervousness, the Patels being up in arms, panic reaction from Narendra Modi, which we saw in Uttar Pradesh.
In UP, the BJP was said to be losing the first 2 phases. Look at what happened.
We've seen that script, and often we find that there is no correlation between that narrative and the results. Now, I don't know. I have always been a little skeptical about exit polls over the years. I think at
all
best,
of us are.
At best, they can give you a broad trend, and the broad trend suggests that the BJP must be through in this election, that it will form a government. And beyond that, what can I say? Let's wait. Let's keep the suspense alive.
But Tom, I mean, Swapan says let's keep the suspense alive, and I'm with Swapan and Ajoy both that these are exit polls. We've seen this in the past. I repeatedly keep reminding myself and all our viewers that exit polls sometimes can go horribly wrong. But if you take a look at this plate, and I want my producers just to stay with that plate on Gujarat, all polls. Look at what all polls are suggesting as far as Gujarat is concerned. If you were to look at Gujarat through the regions, and some polling agencies are giving us very clear idea in terms of what's happening when it comes to the regions of Gujarat. In South Gujarat, for instance, the diamond hub of Surat, which was supposed to be the epicenter for the entire Patidar agitation, it appears that in those areas, and that's a play that I just want to stay with for a moment, in those areas around Surat, which had witnessed massive rallies being organized by Hardik Patel, it appears that the low voting percentage, which was recorded across different constituencies, may well have worked in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party if these exit poll numbers and if the voting percentages which are being shown, if these numbers hold. What it tells you is a different story about Gujarat. And the story is this, that there are a section of voters who are certainly unhappy with the BJP, who are certainly at unease with the economic distress, the economic policies, let's say the GST distress, all too visible, but they're still unwilling to trust the Congress party. Why is that, Tom Madakar?
See, most of the pollsters have been sitting for the last 3-4 days between them, and once the microphones are off, there's almost like a shootout incident. I mean, they have their own thoughts. I asked them very plain questions. I mean, most of them were saying there's an urban-rural divide. Be what it may. They say that urban voter is more BJP and the rural voter is Congress or whatever. Now, the point I asked them is one very simple question. None of them have answers for that. The question was, is Ahmedabad rural? Is Baroda rural? I mean, answer obviously is no.
Then?
Now, the question is, who are the people who have won elections in the universities? Because university is a mirror. When Delhi University election happens, you have a trend coming out on what is the overall, because it's an urban center. And there you have NSUI, Baroda and Ahmedabad.
Is that a flawed comparison, Sopan? You know, when you look at student university elections, student body elections be looked at as some kind of a reference point to what will happen in state assembly election?
It could be, but I don't think it is. The very simple reason, and what I think Tom needs to be reminded, that curiously, the BJP does not have a student wing. It is the ABVP, which is actually a wing of the RSS. It is not it is not a direct under the direct control of the BJP.
It's a case of egg and chicken.
Yeah, whatever you may say so, but there is the political dimension. I mean, we must keep that in mind. I think what would be very interesting to also watch out is that in Gujarat, the rural-urban divide may at times be a little flawed for a very different reason, that most of the people, Gujaratis particularly, who live in urban areas do have profound rural connections. So that divide which is there actually applies to a very small section of the population. Most of them have very strong links with the countryside, and if there is acute distress in the countryside, then obviously it will also get reflected in the minds of the urban voters. Secondly, I think another point which is there is that if we are talking about urban Gujarat holding firm for the BJP, and the issues which have been cited as cases of economic distress, GST in particular, some would say demonetization, some would say getting people into the tax bracket, etc. These are fundamentally urban issues. These are not issues which really affect the rural people at all. So there must be something wrong. If there are people who are angry with the BJP, they must be angry with the BJP for certain different reasons.
But can I put it this way?
And at least that
I'll tell you, let me put it this way. I want to go to Sudesh Verma on that one. Sopan Dasgupta Sudesh says that if people are angry with the BJP, maybe with for the different reason. Let me put it this way. When I travelled across different parts of Gujarat, there was one clear strand of thought which I picked up. Anger with the BJP, yes. But anger with Prime Minister Modi, not really. Anger over GST, yes. Anger over demonetization, yes. But anger converting itself into a vote against Modi, not necessarily. As I look at these exit poll numbers, Sudesh, what is the message that the BJP takes? Is the BJP thinking that these numbers are still underplaying perhaps your final tally? Do you believe that you are still in that hunt, in that region around 150?
Yeah, of course, Bhupen, you see, if we give a figure of 150, it's not just in vacuum that we are talking. BJP is a party based on organizational strength. And the way our party president has built the organization break by break, you know, taken even Panna meetings, which is not possible in any other party. And because of that cadre's strength that we talk, it's not fly-by-night operation that someone comes and organizes a huge rally and then you win an election. It's not possible. So that is why the target is 150, and we are very sure that we will reach closer to the target.
You know, I find it very amusing. I find it, no, one moment, you're saying you're very sure of crossing the 150 target, but I find it quite interesting that a Rahul Gandhi decides to speak to a few television channels, and the BJP has to field a ministerial delegation. You send them to the election commission, you have to file a complaint. Many would say that that's nervousness, that's unease, which is being displayed by the BJP. Then you say you're getting 150.
Bhupen, if you are not playing by the rules, then we have to point it out.
How are you
because
not
we
playing by
have
the rules?
given targeted interviews to influence voters.
Really?
If that is the case, then if Prime Minister of India gives interview, you can imagine that
But the Prime
nobody is
Minister
going to run
speaks
other
today.
interviews.
The Prime Minister
This
speaks
is not
today.
fair play.
Yeah. Tom.
take him
The
on.
Prime Minister speaks today.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
the Prime Minister did not
the
speak about
Railways
elections.
Minister does 2 press conferences yesterday.
Precisely.
Why should that not be a violation of model code of conduct then?
There are many things I need to point out. A, the Prime Minister's march during the vote. It was everywhere on television. The Election Commission decided to look the other way. Then you had a situation where the ministers had press conferences, and this is routine. But I really don't understand that this party, which claims that they are going to wash us or whatever, has a situation, they're rattled.
They're rattled.
And these numbers clearly indicate that all is not too well. I
But
mean,
all,
these are-
you know, it's like this. And when I was in Gujarat, somebody gave me a good example. Somebody said that for the last 2 decades, the voters of Gujarat are used to, at least the BJP supporters are used to going to an EVM machine and pressing the Kamal button. Now, in the absence of Modi, since Modi is not the chief ministerial candidate, that finger is not on that button. That finger is looking around for an option. And you are not giving that option.
We are not
You're not
looking-
positioning yourself as an option.
We have no complaints on the EVM. We have complaints on the EVM management. Now you are saying the fingers go to...
No, I'm saying the person who may be wanting to explore some option other than the Lotus, but because you are not giving him an option, so he ends up going back to the Lotus.
No, that's wrong.
And is that the reason why these numbers come?
Giving them all the options, but the management after the pressing that happens, I'm not going into that debate about EVM.
Now again,
it's a long issue.
Are you saying, you know, it's still the EVM bogey? Is that what you're saying?
I have no problem with the EVM.
No
I
problem.
have
Thank God for that.
post-operative problem.
Which is?
Post-operative problem when the EVMs are stored.
Now,
And there
Tom,
is-
what is this? I mean, are you saying that the Congress party, you know, the spokesperson of the Congress party, are you saying if these numbers hold, and I'm saying if these numbers hold on the 18th, is the Congress party's just excuse going to be that something happened to the EVMs? The button was pressed, then the EVMs were taken, and something happened.
You started the debate of being the finger going to the Lotus, and this practice is, when I elaborated,
You're not
I
getting
said
me. I'm telling you
EVMs
clearly.
are okay. I'm worried about the post-operative period when things can, you know.
I must get Sudesh Sharma to respond.
Please
Once
do
again,
that.
Sudesh Sharma, the EVM bogey. Tom said, I don't have a problem with EVM, but I have a problem with what happens to the EVM machines once they are stored at the district collector's office.
Then Tom should also explain how it can be done, because we are not aware of the trick.
Oh, that's known. That's for you to...
Whether they did that in Punjab, that they gave them such a massive victory. So what was the trick they utilized in Punjab? We
Mr.
do not
Verma,
know.
you
If
have
a
to
complaint,
wait
go to
and
the
tell
Election
us
Commission.
how within 100 meters, whatever
You
can be
are
done.
creating
But I'm
all
not
kinds
into,
of logic
I'm not into
as
that.
an alibi for your impending defeat.
Mr. Sudesh Verma, we are today talking about exit polls. When this suggestion came from the anchor about the EVM, I gave a broadsheet.
No,
That's
I was trying to draw your attention to the fact that you, if these numbers have to hold, may well have created a situation where maybe there was a desire to move away from the BJP, but you did not go for the kill. That you did not provide a viable option, and therefore maybe the undecided voter or the angry voter may have gone back to the BJP. That's the point I was making.
My friend, I want to tell you this very clearly and candidly. This is an exit poll. I pointed out to you where the youth stand today. My friend here has already ratified the fact that may or may not. But generally, when you have university elections, it is a litmus test of what perhaps
So the
can
Congress's viewpoint is that if we did well in university elections across Baroda, Surat or Ahmedabad, then we must have done well at the assembly elections as well. The truth is that at the corporation level as well.
Rural urban,
you did well, and that's where I disagree with you. That I do believe that under Prime Minister Modi, this is the emergence, folks, of some kind of a new political experiment that we haven't seen for a while. Maybe Indira Gandhi, before her, Jawaharlal Nehru, but the ability to somehow consume the anger which is directed against your own party and convert it into some kind of a vote in your own favor. Has Modi managed to do that? Shreya Dhondial is there, and she's there in Ahmedabad. Shreya, you have some citizens with you there in Ahmedabad. How are they looking at these exit poll numbers?
Yes, Bhupen, I do have some citizens with me. Let me just tell you where I am. I'm at Law Garden, which is a popular hangout for both the young and the old, and I'm at Shiv Snacks. As you know, Shiv Bhakt and Ram Mandir both have made a comeback in these elections. You know what I'm going to do is quickly hand it to the citizens of Ahmedabad to ask them what they think of these exit poll numbers that are coming in. Exit poll के numbers आ गए हैं प्रभात भाई. बीजेपी सरकार बना लेगी, लेकिन कांग्रेस अपनी टैली ठीक करेगी. अनएक्सपेक्टेड लाइंस है क्या ये?
नहीं, जो जमीनी सच्चाई थी ये थी कि भाजपा को सरकार बनाने की भी मुश्किल हो जाएगी, लेकिन हालांकि वो सरकार बना रही है और कांग्रेस सरकार बना सकती थी, ऐसा माहौल था खास तौर पे ग्रामीण इलाकों में, लेकिन वहां भी उसको नंबर नहीं मिले.
एग्जिट पोल लेकिन हम मान रहे हैं कि शायद ठीक हो,
काफी मायने में सही है.
मल्हार?
Actually, for me, it's always a BJP because Gujarat is actually traditionally traders. So traders always look at the number at larger size. If BJP form the government, only the Gujarat business community will benefit.
But so what about GST and demonetization? Traders have been unhappy about it, and it was being said that it could go against the BJP in this election.
Paper practice of Gujarati businessmen are by and large very good. So I don't see, there is black money issue with Gujarat. There is any other, taxation issue in Gujarat. Whatever percentages GST has, the similar lines of percentage having a tax model conventionally.
Okay.
So point here is not the tax. Here is, yes, there is a dissatisfaction about
dissatisfaction है. ये couple है जो लड़ रहा है. Traders and BJP are couple. They were on the verge of divorce, but they didn't go through the divorce. That's what you are saying. सही कह रही हूँ मैं?
You are absolutely correct. आप सही कह रहे हैं. काम कोई भी जो रास्ते से बीजेपी सरकार जीतनी चाहिए, कांग्रेस वाला ने ऐसे तो उसका काम.
But Congress has put up a good fight. एक minute. Congress has put up a good fight. We have seen the communication that has gone out from Rahul Gandhi has been consistent and it has been very pointed. Why is he not reaping the benefits? Is it that Rahul Gandhi, despite of what he has done in this election, is still not considered a viable alternative here?
इस बार ऐसा रहा, एग्जिट पोल चाहे जो भी बता रहा हो, इस बार बिहार की तरह जैसे योगेंद्र यादव वर्सेस सुरजीत भल्ला की तरह होने वाला है. तो इस बार लग रहा है कि एरोगेंस वर्सेस राहुल गांधी का जो पोलाइटनेस है वो आगे बढ़ रहा है. फिर भी इस बार कांग्रेस की सीट्स बढ़ रही है, वो 100% श्योर है.
कांग्रेस की सीट्स बढ़ रही है, लेकिन बीजेपी सरकार बना रही है, ये आप मान रहे हैं?
ये कहना अभी भी बहुत जल्दी है. एज यूजुअल एग्जिट पोल इस बार गलत साबित भी हो सकते हैं गुजरात के लिए.
गलत साबित हो सकता है.
हाँ. बीजेपी सरकार बनेगी, वो हमारा अंदाजा है. जो एग्जिट पोल आ रहे हैं वो हिसाब से कम सीट आएगी, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट तो बीजेपी सरकार की बनेगी. राहुल गांधी
लेकिन जो गुस्सा दिखा था ग्राउंड पे, पाटीदार एजिटेशन, वो गुस्सा, ऊना को लेकर दलित्स पे गुस्सा, ठाकुर जो हैं वो अपना जो रिजर्वेशन है उसको प्रिजर्व करने के लिए उनका अपना सेपरेट एजिटेशन था. तो वो गुस्सा पोल बूथ तक आते आते क्या गायब हो गया?
सौराष्ट्र का हम देखें, सौराष्ट्र, कच्छ और दक्षिण गुजरात में, तो वहाँ पे वोटिंग कम हुई है. मेरा ये मानना था पर्सनली, जो वोटिंग कम हुई है वो प्रो बीजेपी वोटर होना चाहिए था. हालांकि एग्जिट पोल बता रही है कि इन इलाकों में भी भाजपा ने कांग्रेस से ज़्यादा नंबर्स लिए हैं. तो मतलब वो जो गुस्सा भीड़ में हार्दिक के साथ लाखों की संख्या में, या जिग्नेश के साथ, अल्पेश के साथ जो लाखों की संख्या में लोग थे, वो वोटिंग बूथ तक गए नहीं, या गए तो उन्होंने अपना प्रेफरेंस बदल दिया.
You know, the one person that the Prime Minister hasn't spoken about in any of his rallies is Hardik Patel, and we are being told that he is the 24-year-old who was giving the BJP nightmare, someone who can't even fight the elections given that he's just 24. It seems that the Hardik factor hasn't worked. Of course, we'll know for sure on the 18th, but at least that's what the exit polls seem to suggest, Bhupen.
Sure whether we should say that the Hardik Patel factor hasn't worked, because if you look at the story of regions of Gujarat, it does appear that the Congress may well have managed to increase its tally, certainly in North Gujarat, in parts of South Gujarat. I just want to go to this poll which has been done by CSDS, and Dhananjay Joshi is here with us as well, who will be with us all through this this election counting season. Just look at what the CSDS poll is suggesting as far as different regions of Gujarat is concerned. CSDS poll is also suggesting an outright victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party, but look at what the story is as far as South Gujarat is concerned. The BJP 21 to 17 seats, the Congress 9 to 13, But if you were to draw a comparison, with what had happened the last time around, the BJP got 28 seats in South Gujarat. And that's the reason why I've been trying to understand whether the agitation, which typically started off from South Gujarat, from parts of Saurashtra, has this agitation, which was led by Patels, has it dented the BJP's possibility of, let's say, crossing that 115 mark, making a big bang victory or not? That's something that we need to look at. North Gujarat. What's the story of North Gujarat? 35 Bharatiya Janata Party in comparison to 32 last time. So the BJP is held on to its vote according to this survey, and the Congress party gets 18. Dhananjay, quick word from you, Dhananjay. In the context of the story of North Gujarat versus South Gujarat, the fear was that in South Gujarat the BJP may well end up losing seats.
Right.
It has lost some.
Right.
Apparently, from this poll that one picks up, but it hasn't been wiped out.
Right.
So it's holding on. It's holding on to its core constituency.
It's holding on the way it is holding on in the entire state. If you look at the polls, the CSDS poll and other polls as well, what they are suggesting is that the discontent that journalists could pick on the streets of Gujarat is not translating into votes.
So let's say the average vote share, and I must point this out for our viewers, the average vote share for the Bharatiya Janata Party in the last 2 decades in Gujarat, has been what? 50%. Average vote share in assembly elections in Gujarat for the BJP has been 50%. Typically, there's been a 10% difference between the BJP and the Congress. The BJP's vote share in this election seems to be coming down, but it's not down so much to allow the Congress party to breach the citadel, the fortress that the Bharatiya Janata Party has converted Gujarat into. Ajoy, there is the other way to look at this as well. Last whole month, I've only been hearing Patidar agitation. But the truth is this, that it's not as if this 15%, roughly 15% Patidar population is some homogeneous entity. It appears that even within this community, there has been a divide between old-time loyalists to the BJP and maybe the new generation Patels, Patidars, who seem to have been driven towards Hardik Patel. Is that the reason why the BJP is losing some vote, but it's still managing to hold on to its core constituency?
Bhupen, the whole thing is that, is this trouble which the BJP is facing to hold on to its traditional voter base, is it similar to what has gone before? Is Hardik Patel, could he be seen in the same light as Keshubai Patel? Is he just the traditional Patel politician? Or is Hardik Patel somebody a little different? He is an outlier. He represents a completely unpredictable force, which is difficult to map actually. So, if we see the Gujarat elections in traditional formats, if there is nothing new that is happening in Gujarat, I think all the exit polls and everything what you say comes out, I think, perfectly right, and we have to accept that the BJP is still quite a bit ahead of the Congress, and although the Congress may have made some gains, the BJP will get through. If, on the other hand, and that is why I am saying it's an if, and I am not ruling out that if. Right. Let me just make it very clear.
Fair enough.
I am not saying that that is probable, but all I am saying that there is a possibility that something new has happened in Gujarat.
Something new has happened.
Something unpredictable has happened, and something which we will know only on the 18th, that this could suddenly result in the kind of rational framework as we as political pundits look at, are not able to gauge.
Swapan, is there really something happening? Because let's be clear, look at the campaign narrative.
I want to make a few points.
2002, 2007, 2012,
I want to make a few points. Number one, while the CSDS is a very good organization which gives you the social trends, its predictive abilities have so far been a little wanting.
And
I think it's important to
They got it wrong in UP, must be pointed out.
Where the CSDS polls are useful, they are very useful in mapping how the particular communities vote, but how it translates into an overall result sometimes is a little, it's not as robust as it seems, number one. Number two, I think in looking at the Patidar agitation, and that's the buzzword which has been happening all over
throughout this campaign
for about 6 months now.
Right.
I think sometimes the journalists, the media has been guilty of doing what they often used to do in Uttar Pradesh, which is look at the Muslim vote and while it's very important to look at the Muslim vote, look at the Patidar votes, it's important to realize that Patidars by far are not the only people who vote. And therefore, a very aggressive Patidar campaign often results in a countervailing campaign, countervailing mobilization from other communities.
So the OBCs
and I think it's very, very important. If you have a look at how the Kohlis have voted, if you have a look at how the Thakurs have voted, the Kshatriyas have voted, which with Waghela not being in the picture this time, I think you might be able to understand perhaps what has taken place in Gujarat this time, that there has been perhaps a slippage or division in the Patel vote, but compensated by the other communities coming in because of the fear that has come.
That was the strategy. That was certainly the strategy which was being employed by Team Amit Shah, that if the Congress goes in for overt aggressive Patel consolidation, then let us look at the other OBCs.
I think it's important to also recognize that as far as the Congress campaign was concerned, the Congress outsourced the entire campaign to Hardik Patel. Now the over-reliance on Hardik Patel at the cost of the traditional Congress communities. And remember, Congress has always had about 40% vote in Gujarat. It's not an insignificant vote.
Sure.
It's always been a...
The question is that you're looking at a state where the BJP's average vote share has been 50%. So if the Congress had to make a match, if Rahul Gandhi had to beat Modi in his own den, I wonder whether the Congress missed a trick by actually not promoting a solid local face. Lots of insights we have on how the Congress went about its entire election campaign and where it may well have goofed up if these numbers have to hold. We must point out that these are exit poll numbers. The India Today number is in that region between 99 and 113. The rest of the numbers seem to be suggesting that the BJP has got Gujarat safely in the bag with some slippages. But as we take a break, let's just bring you the big picture. What are the key takeaways from these exit polls? The trend from all these exit polls is the same. Point number one, Narendra Modi remains unbeatable, folks. I have maintained right through our election coverage on Viewpoint over the last 1 month that there was one factor which was at play this Gujarat election season, and that was the big M factor. And that M factor has campaigned so hard and aggressively, he may well have managed to do the slog over hitting for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Point number two, demonetization, GST still. They may remain bugbears for a section, but to an overwhelming mass across India, from Gujarat to Uttar Pradesh, it appears that people are willing to put up with these small pain points. Point number three, Rahul Gandhi as new Congress president. He fought well, but that's where it's ended. He fought well, but he has not had a good opening. Maybe this over aggression which was shown by Hardik Patel and others hasn't really worked in favor of the Congress party. Let's do a break. On the other side, we'll bring you up to date with what's happening in the rather big state of Himachal Pradesh and why the Congress may well have managed to fight hard, but still not managing to pull it beyond the finishing line. Look at that as well on the other side of the break.